I am Joe Ouko, a farmer innovator. I'm at the same time the chairman of Farmer-Led Innovators Association of Kenya. We have an agribusiness called LOFODA G-Meal. It is a project which has come right down from around 2009 when innovations was introduced in Kenya, and the partners that are behind the whole innovation move that has led us to this project was number one, Prolinnova Kenya, number two, KALRO. The two put their effort together and taught not only ourselves but a group of innovators from Nyando, the then Nyando district, and Busia district then. Now they are counties and sub-counties. The teaching of innovations from that time gave us an inspiration to make sure our minds worked out to ensure what we were doing would come out on top of whatever people were using before to enrich lives. The basic thing about this product is we are using what goats, ordinary goats, what goats can eat anywhere in the world, I would like to say, is what we take and dry up and ration it in a way now that what we have learned from KALRO and Prolinnova would make it best fitting. The two containers I have the same kind of thing. They are not different. The difference is this one is crushed very soft, but this one is granules. The soft one is being used to make pellets. So the same fodder can be produced in pellet form. And we are very happy and we're really grateful that Pelham Kenya gave us on their own a machine that makes this kind of thing. So for us, LOFODA, if you gave it to a goat and a goat picks just one sort, it is like they have eaten more than 10 of those kind of fodder.
Okay, Mr. Joe, it would be interesting for us to know how you started, where you started with the LOFODA meal, how it developed until you got to a point when you introduced or developed different ingredients to make the LOFODA, the current formulation.
Yes, basically, I had mentioned some time back that we had dairy goats that were dying because they were lacking food during drought. When we saw that happening, before Prolinnova came in, we were cutting trees, the fodder trees, and hanging them. So sometimes when they ate, the leaves dropped down. Then they dropped down in the units and they were drying. So later on when we looked at the goat, they were hurrying for those dry leaves. That's what made us think if we dried them, it would be even better before the rains were off. So we took off to now collect the fodder. Now we were not chopping, because one thing we realized is if you cut the branches, then sprouting became very difficult and we lost the leaves and it took a long time. So what we did now, we went on to just harvest the sheath, the top parts of those. And after we harvested them, then we chopped them. We were using pangas. After chopping, we dried them, then we crushed them soft. Before we crushed them, sometimes we took different fodder and mixed them, then gave them so that they could be eating a number of those at the same time. Later on, we found that packaging and it was taking a long time and taking a lot of space. So when we crushed them, we found we were going to pack a lot more. And now we went to the point of packing. What helped us in this packing is World Vision had actually provided a machine for crushing livestock feeds. Doing it without knowing exactly the contents was not going to be good. So we approached the KALRO office. So the KALRO referred us to KALRO Naivasha, where we took a number of those, about 7, 8 of them. They were tested and we found there is none of them which is below 16 protein content. And that is what we are doing now. And right now, with what we got from Isipe and the ones we collect from the local areas, we are producing enough for people who need it.
Okay, apart from the most obvious function you have given for sustaining, feeding dairy goats even during dry seasons, Is there any other benefit that maybe relates to milk production since you are dealing with the dairy goats?
There is quite a lot. One is about milk. This product increases milk production. That is the one thing which is very, very good for us about it. Because of the protein and the fact that we feed it dry. When a goat goes on eating dry, there is a lot of need for water. And what is known is milk is about 85% water. And the more they take the water, the more the milk goes up. So milk increases, and one benefit, therefore, which is an impact we already know in our community with those who are having it, is taking the goat milk means you are taking medicine. You are taking body immunity.
Okay, would you say anything about environmental conservation, since most of the resources that you're using are based in the environment, are based in the locality, and you're harvesting them from the environment around you?
Formerly, there is what we know about feeding dairy goats or even cows, cut and carry. Ours avoids that completely, and all those who are working with us, we are told them, please don't cut and carry. Just come and get what we have done. So the environment is really maintained because of that.
Would you try to comment on how far you have gone in terms of trying to commercialize the product?
We don't have the means to go far outside.
Mr. Joe,
Yeah.
I've heard you mentioning that your milk production has increased. Could you kindly relate this in terms of your income?
Just as I mentioned, it is true the milk increases. And within the local area, not in the towns, 1 liter is 100 shillings. Now, a goat eating this well managed will have the milk double. So what it used to be before, goats used to have about 1 liter, 500 mils or so. But what we have now, particularly the owners whom we are managing them the way we know it should work, we cannot get less than 2 liters per day. And the 2 liters per day, 500 mils is enough for our tea, because if I have 500 mils, it's like I have 1.5 liters of cow's milk. And therefore, if I double the money I was getting when it was 1 liter, it means my earning is more on milk alone, the improvement.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, throughout this your journey, could you maybe kindly tell us the lessons that you've learned, the challenges that you face along the way?
Yes. If there was any means the government or any other person in charge could help communities in a household having a dairy goat, then you would be sure that every house has money to do what they want. That is one very good thing. But another lesson we have learned is we cannot go very far with the product we are making and formulating ourselves here without KEBS certification. We are trying very hard to make sure our product is certified by KEBS, and we shall go and go and go.
Oh, Mr. Joe, with LOFODA, where do you see yourself and the community in 5 years' time?
With LOFODA in 5 years' time, if there was an investor that decided to pick it up, I see the community going very high in what they are earning in terms of supplying the fodder from their shambas. They will earn money. So they will have self-employment. Apart from that, I see the investment making sure that there is a factory which is LOFODA made. And that factory will employ so many people. Beyond that point, what I am seeing is LOFODA is not a Jakarta thing, it is not a Kisumu thing, it is a Kenyan thing, and actually the honest thing, if it is invested, it is beyond Kenya, it is international.